is the reigning Sports Emmy Best Studio Host in the business. He is Ernie Johnson of TNT's Inside the NBA and so much more. Thanks for calling back in, Ernie.
Oh, Rich, it's my pleasure, man. How are you?
I am hanging in there. I'm looking forward to tonight's game.
I think everybody is. I think that it's a good night not to be working. I mean, I'll be sitting here at my home with everybody sleeping, watching Golden State and San Antonio, and I mean, I know you've probably talked about it already today, but it's an amazing matchup and of historical perspective. Never had teams with these kind of records meeting this late in the season, and this is very cool because we're halfway through the year and we really haven't seen these guys. Everybody keeps saying, yeah, it's a great start by Golden State. Let's see what happens when they play San Antonio. Well, let's see what happens when San Antonio plays Golden State. Well, tonight we'll see it, and hopefully Tim Duncan will be the only big name who does not play, because I know Pop has already said that the TD won't play tonight.
So what is it going to look like, right, Ernie? I'm just trying to even visualize what style, what pace of play it might be. What do you see?
Well, it's a battle of wills. I mean, when you look at obviously Golden State leads in fast break points, and they like to get up and down, and San Antonio's pace of play is nowhere near that, but both teams move the ball extremely well. I mean, first and third in assists, Golden State leads the way. San Antonio's third. So the trademark of both is the ability to move the ball and hit the open man and make the extra pass. And San Antonio does that so beautifully in their half court. And then when you look at what these teams are able to do, I mean, with Golden State leading the league in scoring and San Antonio's number one in points allowed, I mean, it's just one of these great. Yeah, I know your offense is great, but we have the best defense. Yeah, I know you guys shoot the ball well, but we're the best in field goal percentage against. Yeah, I mean, so I think it's everything that you'd want in a game at this point of the season when, it's a long year, Rich. And,
yeah.
and not every game is Golden State and San Antonio, to be honest. A lot of times it's, Phoenix against Brooklyn, and it's hard to get up for it. But tonight,
yes.
No, I cannot wait. It's one of those nights where I'm not working, and I'm saying, I'm definitely going to be in front of the set for that.
Yeah,
and not just because I do work on NBA TV.
No, of course, no. Ernie Johnson joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. Wouldn't it be fun though if Popovich just decides, let's go up tempo and let me just shoot threes like crazy, the circus shot that I think that I poo-poo all the time. If he just goes ahead and obviously this is not their style, but just go ahead and beat Golden State at their own game on their own court.
Well, you never know. You never know what Pop might try, and that's one of the reasons. Like, you wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I know there's a legit reason for Tim Duncan to be sitting down, but it wouldn't be un-Pop-like to see him say, well, Kawhi's logged a lot of minutes, so we'll sit him down. I'm not saying
Sure.
he's going to do that, but Pop has been one who said, look, I'm not going to show my hand every time we play you guys, and he loves, even though he doesn't maybe love the three-point shot, San Antonio shoots that thing pretty well.
Yes.
They got Kawhi Leonard, who's one of the best in the league at it, and they're a deep team with guys who can hurt you from out there. So. No, I can't wait to see how this one unfolds, and I don't think even players on either side, who most of the time are trained to say, oh no, it's just a regular season game, doesn't mean anything in terms of did you knock us out of the playoffs or not, or it's a regular season game. But these guys will be juiced for this. I mean, I think the whispers in both locker rooms have been, hey, that Monday the 25th. That's bigger than normal, and let's get ready for it. And so I think it should be fascinating to watch, and I'm glad to see Steve Kerr back on the Golden State bench so he could be part of it today.
Well, Kerr said that the reason why he came back when he did is because that might force Popovich to coach the All-Star game based on the rules that are going down right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you can't.
As much as Pop would love to spend those 3 days doing that.
Yeah, because Kerr, the rule is, I guess, that the coach can't be the same back-to-back years, But had
Yeah.
Kerr not come back, Luke Walton could have gone to actually coach it. And
Right.
Kerr's come back. But if Popovich wins and actually has the better record, he might have to go, period, to coach
Yes,
that thing.
exactly.
Right,
Yeah,
Ernie?
we had the possibility of a Luke Walton, Tehran Lou at the All-Star game. If
The
that,
matching of wits
that's,
between guys with a combined, right now, 0 career wins, technically,
yeah, exactly.
as a coach in the NBA.
You know what? And they've got to do something about that. I mean, there's got to be some kind of. I can see how. If a coach gets suspended for a game or is sick for a game and can't be there, that you're not going to, that the guy who fills in is not going to be credited with the win. But if you're going to miss more than 5 games or something like that, I think you got to say, hey, we'll give these to you. You're really coaching the team, so take the wins. But Luke Walton's still winless.
That's right.
Even though his team has the best record in basketball.
Well, it's not just the NBA, Ernie. Bruce Arians won Coach of the Year with Indianapolis a couple of years ago, filling in for the ill Chuck Pagano, and all those wins went to Pagano's record.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those very strange. It's one of those very strange rules, but I really see if it's an extended stay, you almost got to say, hey, give the guy credit because he's there, night in, night out, and making the calls. Ernie
Johnson of Inside the NBA, Turner Sports, and NBA TV, joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. So much being made about the Blatt firing in Cleveland. Stan Van Gundy essentially saying it's the beginning of the end of the of sanity in the NBA world. What do you make of it, Ernie?
I know there are 29 other guys out there right now who suddenly were saying, "Hey, I thought I was feeling pretty comfortable about where we were." But if that can happen, and I think the scary thing would be if you look at owners or GMs who look at that and say, "Hey, look, why should I be afraid to pull the trigger on this right now? If Cleveland did it with the best record in the Eastern Conference and having gone to the finals, all bets are off." So. No, if I'm a coach, I can see exactly where Stan Van Gundy, Rick Carlisle, guys like that are coming from when they, when they say, "Geez, what does this mean? What do you have to do to have some sense of job security?" So, no, I was very surprised at it. I think with all the talk last year, I wouldn't have been, I was a lot more surprised this year than I would have been last year when people were kind of saying, "Oh man, here's a team that's 19-20 near the halfway point. This isn't working, blah, blah, blah." But boy, when you go to the finals and then you're on top of your conference and you get fired. I mean, he's gone. Kevin McHale goes to the Western Conference Finals and then gets fired, 11 or 12 games in. So, no, it's if I'm a coach, I'm not. I'm just saying, hey, when I wake up the next morning, am I still the coach? Good.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to work.
Well, I mean, the conversation, Ernie, as it is right now, is what did LeBron know and when did he know it? And if you dust the firing for Prince, do you find his on them right now, depending on the news outlet that you read? He had nothing to do with it or he had everything to do with it. What camp do you reside?
I don't, I have a hard time feeling that anything that goes on in Cleveland, LeBron doesn't have some inkling of. But I don't think he forced management's hand on this thing. I'm just kind of, but I would be surprised if he were just like me that day saying, "Oh, really? Wow, David Blatt got fired," or if he'd had some kind of an inkling or some kind of something there. But no, I don't think he went to management or anything like that and said, "Hey, I can't do this. This guy's got to go." I mean, you had some success, and so I think if it had happened last year, then you probably would have said, I don't think LeBron's happy with being a 500 team as he goes home. But they're not a 500 team. But apparently David Griffin saw something he didn't like. I was stunned. I thought it was a joke at first.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I thought somebody had played some Twitter joke or something like that, and then all of a sudden I was like, "Wow, they really did that."
But even if, because I think even if Griffin or Gilbert asked LeBron, "What do you think?" I would do that if I was the owner of a team and I thought something was maybe not right with the coach. I don't know what that says about me, but I definitely would make sure that my star player who came home And there's the difference between me being a lottery pick or an NBA champion is happy.
Yeah,
Ernie.
well,
I mean,
yeah, I think there's a fine line there, and I think it's a fine line in all sports where you can't, if you're the one who's calling the shots in an organization, I think it can be dangerous to let the players dictate where you're going, and then I think you set a tough precedent there, but I think. It's happened before. I mean, Magic Johnson has had some pull in L.A. When he was a player there, obviously, and I think you have to weigh that. I think it's one of those things where if he's not thrilled with it, is there something to that, or is it something that we can try to work out? I'm going to sit LeBron down and we're going to talk, and we're going to say, look, let's give it another month and let's see if this improves. And I'm going to talk to David Blatt, and I'm going to, I think sometimes that has to be how you maybe handle a player who's a marquee guy. That you want them to feel like they're having some input, but you're not going to your knees aren't going to buckle because he's going to walk in and say, "Get rid of this guy." Yeah, I think that's a tough line to tread.
And last one for you. I know you and Charles and everybody on the set had a very lively debate about Kobe Bryant being an all-star starter, certainly over Draymond Green. Where do you stand on that subject?
No, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, look, when you've been in the league 20 years and this is an exhibition for the fans, then I always just say, look, let the fans have their say. If that's what they want to do, if they want to see Kobe, if they want to see D. Wade, that's what this is. Now, I mean, if this game is not determining who has home court in the NBA Finals. It's not like the Major League Baseball All-Star Game, which I still feel should be an exhibition, and I don't like the fact that this kind of a situation exists where something as big as home field in the World Series rides on it. So if they want to do that, it's fine. I had more of an issue with Charles saying that if it came down to it, he'd take Draymond Green over Kevin Durant. Now, I mean, I still go Durant and Kawhi Leonard. I love Draymond Green, but I think he's not Kevin Durant. So we always have lively discussion there, and I don't think anybody's begrudging Kobe the respect and the honor that comes with being the leading vote getter after that many years. But it's funny to me that when Michael Jordan, when we knew it was going to be his last All-Star game, he wasn't the leading vote getter. Now, he started only because Vince Carter gave up his spot back in 2003.
Well,
interesting.
Yeah, Ernie, thanks for coming on the show. Let Shaq know that we're still waiting on him to give us a date to come here on the Rich Eisen show, dressed in Dallas Cowboy cheerleader gear for 10 seconds. You aware that he said that, right?
Oh, geez.
Are you aware? But when the Cowboys season was going the tubular route, he said that they'd make the playoffs and that he would give us 10 seconds on this set in Dallas Cowboy cheerleader garb if they didn't make the playoffs.
I'll tell you right now, if they don't make it, I'll come right here on your show,
yes,
Rich, and I'll be dressed like a Cowboy cheerleader for 10 seconds.
Yes.
And, I mean,
yes.
At least he didn't do the pink panties thing, which he normally does. That's usually his bet. I'll be on. Yep. I'll be on the beach in pink panties if I lose.
That's the
bet.
default. That's the default. No, he went different this way. Yeah.
You know what? I will see him Thursday, and I'll tell him to be a man of his word.
Let him know. We're still waiting. We're still waiting.
I will do it for sure.
Because I foolishly said I'd do it with him, Ernie. I did.
Well, that'll be worth the price.
I know. I don't know what the price is, but thanks again, Ernie. I appreciate it. Look,
Rich, it's always a pleasure, man. Thank you.
Same here. That's Ernie Johnson at Turner Sports EJ.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.